Hey everyone, it's Lindsay here. Since I've started vlogging a couple months ago, one of my more popular videos, one of the more viewed ones, and the one that generates the most comments and questions is the video where I talk about how I am a single mom by choice, meaning that I had my daughter on my own intentionally. I don't have any co-parents. I went into parenthood. I decided to do it myself. I got pregnant with the help of a known sperm donor, and I parent on my own without any help. And so obviously that journey has come with some struggles and some wonderful things, and I wanted to kind of make a little single mom by choice series where I talk about a certain topic in each video, and then invite questions from you guys, comments, and if there are any particular topics that you'd like to know about when it comes to single motherhood by choice, please feel free to send me a message or let me know in the comments, and I'm happy to cover that topic in one of my next videos. So in this one, I'm going to be talking about just talking about to the general public, people that we meet, whether it be classmates of Evelyn's in her school, or teachers, or people out and about. How do we explain our family? And how do I explain my family to Evelyn? I want to tell you guys a little bit about how I've dealt with that over the past 4.5 years. Also want to share some of my favorite books that talk about the diversity of families. Not everybody has a nuclear family with 2 parents or 2 heterosexual parents. Not everybody is raised by a parent at all. And so there are some really good children's books out there that really cover the diversity of families. But first, I want to tell you guys that there's some exciting news. Bree and I actually wrote our first of many children's books. We want to do a series on the adventures of Evelyn and Serenity. And so we have finally published our very first book that we've written together, called A Day at the Beach. And it is loosely based on a true story of the first time that Evelyn and Serenity met, and we took them to the beach in Florida. And some book is starring our 2 favorite strong female leads, Evelyn and Serenity. So I'm going to put the link to buy our A Day at the Beach Kindle book down below. It's only $1.99 US, so even if you don't have kids, we would really appreciate the support if you bought the book, left us a review, and if you do have kids, please purchase it. You can read it on any screen. You don't have to have a Kindle. You can read it on your laptop or your phone or even your desktop computer. As long as you have a screen, you can read the book to your kid or to yourself. So we would very much appreciate your support. But first, Evelyn, I'd like to invite you over here for the video. Come on over. You can leave the iPad over there, kiddo.
Right here?
Yeah, just pause it for a second.
Okay.
She's watching YouTube while I YouTube. Isn't that funny? So come here. So I'm talking to everybody today about how about how mommy is a single mom by choice. Do you remember what that means? That means that mommy is your only parent who's raising you, right?
My nose hurts.
I know it hurts. Evelyn has a cold and she's been kind of picking at her nose, and now there's a little scratch on the inside, so it hurts. So I wanted to talk to you about our family. Do you like our family? Yeah? What do you like about our family?
Because I love them.
You love them. Who is in our family?
Moopy.
Moopy, my best friend. Anyone else?
Moopy.
Yes. Nobody can see you because you're so tall. You gotta come down. Yeah.
I want to come here.
There you go. Who else is in our family?
Aunt.
Aunts. You've got aunts, Aunt Michelle and Aunt Hannah and Auntie Laura, right?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Don't forget Sassy.
Who?
Sassy.
Oh, Shashi, yeah. Alicia, my friend's partner. Who else is in our family?
Mimi.
Mimi and Pappy, my parents.
Baby. Pappy.
Your cousins.
Pappy.
Yeah, so I think Evelyn's not feeling it, but the point is that to her, family is who she loves. The people that she's listing are not all biologically related to her. Some of them are my best friend and her children and her sister and her partner and her child. And so family is what you make it. Family is love. Even though it's just Evelyn and I here at home at the end of the day, we actually have a very large family. Eddie is her cousin, who is not biologically related to her, but he's a cousin of the heart. And so anyway, the point is that Evelyn is a very well-adjusted little girl. She knows what family is, and she's not interested in YouTube right now, and that's fine. I'm not going to force it. But anyway, yeah, her family to her is, it's always been a part of her story. When she was little, when she was first born, I made my own picture book on Shutterfly. So when Evelyn was a baby, I didn't find any books that I found that I really liked that would tell the story of how she came to be. Mostly because our story is unique, just like everybody else's. You know, I used a known sperm donor who has stayed in her life and our lives. And I really don't know that there are any books about that yet that are for the mainstream. So I made a book just for Evelyn and me. And it starts, I'm not going to read you guys the whole thing. Once upon a time, there was a woman named Lindsay. She loved children and wanted to be a mama very much. And then I go on to talk about my family, my sisters, my nieces, and my nephew. At the time, I only had one nephew. Then I talk about her dad and who he was or is. Got lots of pictures of him in here. And then I talk about how we met and decided to bring a life into this world, and I got pregnant. Here I am with the baby in my belly. And in February 2013, Evelyn was born. And so then I said she was the perfect combination of the two of us. And this is Evelyn and her mommy, and we go on many adventures. And this is Evelyn and her daddy. Well, Papa is what we called him at the time when she was a baby. And now she decided to call him Daddy herself. Evelyn lives in Toronto, and she's her mommy's lifelong dream come true, all thanks to this generous Papa. And it's simple, it's picture heavy, and it tells our unique story, and there's even some pictures of all of us together. And it worked. So, I have always read her that book with her story of how she came to be, and then there are some other books that I like to read to Evelyn that kind of celebrate the diversity of families. This one here is called Two is Enough by Jonna Matthews, and it is... Two is enough. That's right, Evelyn. Got the peanut gallery over here. And this shows different families, always with a child and an adult. Some are with... Yes, some of them are with their dad. Some of them are raised by a grandparent. Some look like they were adopted. Yep. And some look like they were raised by a single mom. So we really like this book. It has beautiful illustrations, so I highly recommend this. Oh, and any of the books that I'm listing or talking about today, I will put the links to find them and buy them on Amazon in below in my description for easy finding for you. So this is called The Thankful Book, which is nothing to do with families except for being thankful for a family, but I couldn't find our copy of the book called The Family Book by the same author, Todd Parr. And his book is really awesome because it covers all the different types of families that there could be. There are gay parents, there are single parents, there are kids raised by grandparents, blended families, large families, small families. Any kind of family you can imagine is all reflected in the Todd Parr The Family Book. So that's always the first one that I recommend to folks when they ask me for books about, that represent their family. You can almost always find your family in there. And then this one is called If I Could Keep You Little, and it's not specifically about a single parent and her child, but there is no, in all of the illustrations, it's clear that there's just one parent. There doesn't look like there's two parents in any of the illustrations, and so I like that one. And it's a little sexist in the sense that I don't see any fathers with the children in the illustrations, but it does its job for us. If I Could Keep You Little, and it's beautiful and it's fun to read, and we both like it. And then this one I like for older children. I started reading this one to Evelyn when she was about 3. It's called What Makes a Baby, written by Corey Silverberg, and this one comes highly recommended from all sorts of different people. I really like it because instead of saying, women make eggs and men make sperm, it talks about how some bodies produce eggs, some bodies produce sperm, some bodies have a uterus and some do not. And then this one is called Someday, and it's about a mom and a baby, and it basically goes through, and it's Again, it never explicitly says that it's a single mom, but there's never any other parent in the pictures or the illustrations. It's written from the perspective of the mother as her little girl is walking and holding her hand, and she watches her grow, and eventually her little girl turns into an adult and leaves the home, and then eventually the little girl herself as an adult has her own child, and it's beautiful, and it makes me cry every single time. So anyway, this is called Someday by Allison McGee and Peter H. Reynolds. So those are some of our favorite books to read about the diversity of families. I know there are lots and lots of books about same-sex parents, and we've got those too, but I just mostly wanted to touch on the ones that kind of focus on single parenthood and one parent. And so hopefully you guys, if you haven't already read them, you get something out of those books. The only other thing I wanted to talk about was how I talk to other people about our family. Because you're watching me, you know that I'm visibly gay. Most people, actually, I cannot remember the last time that anybody assumed that I'm straight. I just don't get that anymore. I almost never have to come out because people just look at me and assume I'm gay. Gee, I wonder why. Anyway, I don't really have to do a lot of coming out. Now, there was a time when Evelyn was a baby, and maybe I don't know, people just assumed that there was another parent or a dad in the picture. In those cases, if it's a random person at the coffee shop, sometimes I just smile and nod. If it's somebody that I know that we're going to be interacting with, like another parent at her school, I will explain, the structure of our family. I'll say, well, actually, I'm a single mom by choice, so I'm Evelyn's mom. So when it's somebody that I will see and interact with, I make sure I just get it out there in the open in a casual way. I don't ever say, oh, there's something I want to tell you. It's just usually if, people talk about their families or their dynamic or something, somebody talks about their husband, then that's when I chime in and say, I'm a single mom by choice, I'm Evelyn's only parent. Now, when I got pregnant, I had to tell people. So not a whole lot of people knew that I was trying to conceive when I was. I told my mom and my sisters and my best friend. Actually, I told a couple of my best friends, and they were very supportive and very, very excited when I was going through the process. I think it was something that I talked about with the people closest to me for a couple years, so it never came as a big surprise. Sometimes there can be awkward situations when people, a group of moms at the park are standing around and complaining about their partners, or every once in a while I'll hear somebody say, oh, I can't imagine being a single parent. And sometimes in those moments, I just remain quiet. It's not worth it to me if there's a group of people that I don't interact with that much, or maybe never will again. In some instances, I get people saying things to me like, oh my God, I don't know how you do it. Well, I hate that. I don't like it when people say that. I do it because first of all, it's all I know. I do it because I have to. There's nobody else to do it. And it's really not all that bad. I'm not used to having help from people when it comes to child rearing and taking care of the house and everything that comes with that. So it's all I know. So, when somebody has a partner who is a co-parent and involved and helps take care of the kids or take care of the house or does any number of things, and then that person goes out of town, or then they get a divorce and they lose that support that they're so used to, then it really sucks. And so I understand why they think that single parenthood is just impossibly hard, because it probably is for them when they are left on their own for a few days, or when their family is being separated, that sort of thing. But that's just not my experience. Now, that's not to say that I don't have shitty moments, because I definitely have shitty moments. I have shitty days. The stress of everything is carried on my shoulders and mine alone. I do have a lot of support and I have a lot of love, but a little bit in my first video about whether or not it's worth it. Absolutely is. For the most part, people are really kind and respectful. I've not had anybody say anything negative to me about my child needing a dad or a second parent. I'm not cheating her out of love, and I think anybody who knows me and anybody who sees the support that we are surrounded by knows that Evelyn's life is full of experiences and love and relationships with all different types of people who all care for her. So I really don't feel that she's cheated out of anything and having just one parent take care of her day after day. And so, yeah, being a single mom by choice is hard, worth it, it's awesome, and I have this perfect little girl who was completely meant for me.
I want my baby carrier.
Oh my, are you pregnant? Evelyn is pregnant.
You mean Harley?
Oh, it's Harley Quinn. She's pregnant, and she's already got a baby. One baby with another on the way. Is that right, Ev? Or Carly?
Yeah.
She's on this kick, like a very imaginative kick where she wants to be other people. She's 4. Yes, I can. So if you have any questions for me, or if there's a particular topic that you want me to cover in my next Single Mom by Choice vlog, let me know. The next topic I think I'm going to cover is how to get pregnant, because I get that question a lot. So, how'd you do it? I will let you guys know how I did it in my next video. So if you've got any questions pertaining to that, let me know in the comments, and I'll make sure I get that question answered in my next video. So if you're new here, please subscribe. If you're not new here, please leave a comment. Let me know what you like and don't like about my channel. And yeah, thank you for sticking around, and thank you for watching.